Lana's mink coat transformed into a throw and a pillow. Lana's coat was in wonderful condition.
So the next project is a black mink coat, long sleeves with a very, very nice cuff. The name is embroidered in the lining, but we're not going to be using this lining. We are going to be using a black velvet for her lining, and she is going to be making a throw. We'll see if we have any left over to make a smaller project perhaps. So let's get started.
First thing to do is to remove the lining. Now that the lining is completely removed, I'm going to send that back to the customer, and now I'm going to be working on the bottom portion or the edges, where I'm going to be removing any supportive material and or fabrics. The same goes for the collar area on top. I'm going to be removing shoulder pads and strings that are holding the collar area together. It's quite a number of strings that are always in the collar area, and it really takes the longest. Moving up the sides of the coat, removing any kind of batting, pockets, more pockets, here's the coat all fanned out. I am removing the bottom part of the fur. I want it to be nice and flat. The same with the sides, so I'm removing any of the leftover binding. As you can see, the sleeves are already removed, and now I'm just going to be picking off strings. Also removing any hardware that might be on the coat, clasps and fasteners. Here it's just a bunch of string. So I marked the center all the way down, and then I used a much larger ruler for the center panel. And I mark it going straight down, and I'm keeping those lines in line with the ruler so I could have a nice straight panel when I cut the first strip. The top of the coat always has jagged spots in it, so I'm straightening it out and making this first straight cut for the center panel, and that is complete. So I'm going to build around the center panel. I moved to an 8.5 inch wide ruler for these strips, also keeping in line with the lines that are on the fur. I want to get the longest and the straightest that I could get. Now here I cut the top off. That top will be used for either the border area or creating additional panels, or perhaps the pillow. My little handheld vacuum died, so I had to bring out the big boys. Changing the blade. That needs to be nice and sharp. Otherwise, it will leave jagged marks on the fur, and that'll cause problems later on. So let's lay them out. I'm going to take the sleeves and I'm going to use them also to build in the panels. And then whatever I don't have enough of, I'm going to have to create. Those side panels are going to be used to create additional panels as well. So here's a front view. As you can see, I don't have enough, so I'm going to have to build more. Once that's done, I layer it once all the pieces are put together, and that's what it looked like after it was put together. The customer asked for a velvet, plain velvet backing. She didn't want any quilting. It measured 48 by 52 inches wide. And from the scraps, I made an additional pillow, which is 18 inches by 18 inches. As you can see, it is quite lovely, and they match so perfectly. And there's the velvet. Come visit us at dinahsquilts.com.